On your Fast Track to 7, district officials in East Grand Forks voted to cut some of their programs and positions. This comes after several other districts around the valley have been doing the same. Yesterday, the school board voted to pass those cuts. That includes a counselor, social worker, assistant principal, and other positions, they say. East Grand Forks Superintendent Brian Hackbarth says budget cuts are not an easy process.
And I know these are the most difficult and challenging times for a school district. Our district leaders, our staff, and our students and our families are all affected by this process.
Although the cuts passed, the school board will likely review that plan and make amendments in future meetings, they say. A woman in Foster County who pled guilty to charges including murder and child abuse is due to be sentenced today. Court documents say Carrington police were called to the home of Patricia Wick in September of 2022 for an unresponsive child. The 5-month-old was life-flighted to Fargo, where he later passed away. Autopsy results reportedly state that the child died as a result of complications of blunt force head and neck trauma. An update for you this morning on a story we've been following out of Fort Totten. The days-long search for an armed and dangerous man is officially over. The Spirit Lake Tribal chairwoman says Colby McKay turned himself in. Police still have not said exactly why they were looking for him. However, tribal leaders did say in a statement yesterday, quote, "We offer our deepest sympathies to those affected by recent events, especially the families who are experiencing loss and trauma," end quote. We'll be sure to pass along any additional information as we receive it here. Crews began engraving the names of fallen law enforcement officers at the National Memorial in Washington, D.C. This year, fallen Fargo officer Jake Walling's name will be added to that memorial. Prior to National Police Week, the names of law enforcement officers who died in the line of duty the preceding year and years prior are engraved. This year, 282 names of fallen officers will be engraved into the wall, joining more than 23,000 other names dating back to the first known American fallen officer death in 1786.
By virtue of it being engraved here, there's some part of that that conveys onto the family and perhaps onto the nation that while we certainly would wish that they were still alive, by virtue of their sacrifice and their name being engraved here, that we are, and in some way, trying to memorialize them, their name, their story, that it will exist here for all time.
And the names all being engraved will be read aloud during the 36th Annual Law Enforcement Officers Memorial Candlelight Vigil. That's happening in Washington, D.C. in mid-May. And we will have a crew from Valley News Live at that event in D.C. We will continue to bring you that coverage right here on Valley News Live. Yesterday marked the filing deadline for North Dakota's June primary, and a couple of the big races just got a little more crowded. Former Miss America Cara Mund officially filing to run for the state's lone U.S. House seat. Now, she ran as a moderate independent in 2022, but now she is running as a Republican. She joins a large field of candidates, including military veteran Alex Balazs of Kandu, who received the party nomination over the weekend, running on a Protect Our Borders platform. Also joining former ultra-conservative state rep and plastic surgeon Rick Becker, Public Service Commissioner Julie Fedorchak, and also new to the race from Williston, Charlotte Moore. The Democratic side of the U.S. House race also has a late addition, with Roland Reimers joining military vet Trygve Hammer. Reimers of Grand Forks has been running multiple campaigns in the past. The 80-year-old most recently facing a misdemeanor, though, for disorderly conduct on a charge last year for placing a train conductor and engineer under citizen's arrest. He said they were blocking traffic for too long. 6:53 on our Fast Track. We are sending things right on over to Summer Schnellbach for a beautiful look at our live sky cam this morning and what to expect on our Tuesday. Good morning, Summer.
Good morning. The sun may not be eclipsed today, but we can sure see it this morning as it's coming up on our Tuesday morning. A few things that we're watching over the next couple of days. Today, sunnier. First and foremost, warmer temperatures, a little bit breezy this afternoon. Chance for some rumbles of thunder for the day tomorrow, specifically evening, and drier, warmer and windier into the weekend. One thing that we're watching for this morning is development of fog. We're at 0 visibility out in Rugby, so some isolated dense fog developing in northeastern North Dakota. Otherwise, Grand Forks visibility 1.3 miles, 0 visibility in Fosston, 2 miles in Mahnomen, 1/4 mile visibility this morning in Detroit Lakes, and a little over 1.5 miles Fergus Falls, 2 miles in Park Rapids. As for temperatures, we're in the 30s in most areas. 35 in Fargo, 34 Wadena, Fergus Falls, Oaks, 33 in Devils Lake and Thief River, 26 Grand Forks, 28 in Langdon, 27 in Hallock. For the bus stop forecast for today, we can expect generally quiet conditions, partly cloudy to mostly cloudy off to school, depending on what part of the valley you're in. A few more clouds in northern Minnesota, and partly cloudy heading home from school this afternoon. Temperatures in the 50s and low 60s. Here in Fargo, expecting those low 60s by about 3 to 4 to even 5 o'clock this afternoon. A few passing clouds. Temperatures going to be right around 57 in Bemidji and Detroit Lakes, 60 in Jamestown, 61 in Grand Forks. For tomorrow, we're looking at that thunderstorm risk, but it's looking to be non-severe. Some garden variety showers and thunderstorms bringing some areas of some beneficial rain. As for your planning forecast, warm this weekend. It comes with wind, elevated fire weather conditions before more rain, Ashland, Monday night through Tuesday and possibly into Wednesday. That also brings us some cooler temperatures. But again, we do really need some more rain in the valley.
Yeah, bring on the rain. We can all get through this. We need it.
We can, yes.
All right, thank you for the update so far. Well, if you at home have been itching to get up and get moving, we may have just the unique way to do it with belly dancing this morning. We are checking in live with the Valley Today's Tatum Miller at Mindak Belly Dance Studio to find out what's going on. Good morning, Tatum.
Good morning, Ashland. Well, we've been shimmying all morning, and now it's time to get a little sneak peek of Mindak Belly Dance's performance. This Saturday is going to be at the Hall at Fargo Brewing at 8 p.m. So without further ado, I'm presenting Alicia and Hannah. What an absolutely amazing preview of what we're about to see on Saturday. Coming up next, I'm going to be jumping in and learning some of those moves. I've already got my hip scarf on. I'm ready to go. I'll check in with you guys in just a little bit. I'm Tatum Miller for Valley News Live. Back to you, Ashland.
Wow. All right. Yes, we will be checking in live with you again on the Fargo CW newscast coming up right after this. But thank you for all of the adventures so far this morning, Tatum. And for information on how to sign up for classes for this weekend's performance, too, you can visit our website, valleynewslive.com. An update this morning on a playground being built in Valley City. Since the start of the school year, more than $250,000 has all been raised for the project at Jefferson Elementary. Late last week, the school board approved construction bids for the project, including concrete, rubber mulch, and a field turf. The project, they say, strives to improve surfaces, safety, and accessibility. The goal is to raise $300,000 by the end of this school year. Well, we put out the call and you at home delivered. Take a look at these photos from yesterday's solar eclipse. Now, these photos were all sent to us by you, VNL viewers. You were either traveling to Mexico, Arizona, Illinois, or even Texas. Your next chance to catch a total solar eclipse in the U.S. isn't for another 20 years. And at that point, western North Dakota is set to be in the path of totality. Unfortunately, though, for those of us in the Fargo area, I think a lot of us got a picture that looked a little more like this. The caption here says, "Cool eclipse, bro." One commenter adding, "The weather in Fargo never fails to disappoint." Yeah, we were all in it together yesterday under those clouds. Oh well, we got to see at least other photos, right? Well, maybe this will make us feel better. A new McDonald's ad campaign is not just targeting taste buds, it's now putting the smell of an iconic menu item to the test. The fast food giant has placed plain red and yellow billboards all around the Netherlands that give off the aroma of McDonald's French fries to those walking by. The billboards were placed near local McDonald's chains in hopes that the smell and the aroma will encourage fans to drop in. And here's the big news. The University of Connecticut men's basketball team won its second consecutive NCAA title last night, defeating Purdue 75-60 in the championship game at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. The Huskies came away with a win after a back-and-forth first half, then gaining their first double-digit lead near the midpoint of the second half. UConn is the 8th team in the NCAA men's basketball history to win back-to-back national championships following their victory last season against San Diego State. Congrats to them. Well, thank you all so much for waking up and joining us right here on the Valley today. Take care if you're heading out the door. My name's Ashlyn Hill.